Welcome to the PPVG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
And we are the passionate playing video gamers. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the new releases such as For Honor, Halo Wars 2 being released today, and Horizon Zero Dawn being released next week, which a few of us are very excited for. We'll talk about Call of Duty going back to its roots. What does that mean and why? Also talk about the NPD Top 10 Selling Games of January 2017. But we're going to start off with the big news of Microsoft switching their E3 press conference to Sunday, June 11th at 2 p.m. Ever since they've been doing press conferences at E3, they've always been the first conference on Monday. But now they switched to Sunday. Also on Sunday, Bethesda also confirmed that they will also remain on Sunday. Their first press conference was actually in 2015. So this will be their third press conference all Sunday evening. They also stated, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So they're very flattered that Microsoft joined them on Sunday. So what do you guys think? What is Microsoft's strategy of changing to Sunday? Why?
Oh, waiting on me.
I'm a fanboy, so I wanted the last word.
Like, oh,
okay,
right,
so
well,
obviously we don't care. So we'll go to the next topic.
No, I actually
I
care.
No,
What do you think, man?
I think they're just trying to strategize something. Try to do it before not Nintendo, but PlayStation. I think that's their biggest competitor right now. Besides Switch coming out, but
That's a big competitor. Switch. You gotta watch out for that Switch.
we'll see what happens. But I think they just want to get some of the news beforehand so people could be like, oh, wow, this, that. They don't want to be in the same schedule or the same day that Sony's releasing. Because the last E3, Sony just blew them away with just games. They didn't talk. They have segments. They just said, let's just show off the games. Let's do this. Let's get to work.
You can go with both ways, because I was still blown away from the Sony press conference. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
I hope that sets the standard for what a video game press conference should be, as in show the video games and less talking. Because I know with Microsoft, all the E3 press conferences, they bring out the designer, developer, they talk 2 minutes about the game, then they show a clip. Another person that's talked 2 or 3 minutes about the game, then they show a clip.
Yeah,
well, Sony was back to back to back.
Yeah, it's just let's talk more action. Let's show these people what we actually been working on. Why are we? It's like they're trying to stretch out their segment by just doing a lot of talking and trying to introduce everything. Let the game speak for itself. I mean, that's what's basically coming down to in my thoughts.
And that makes sense to get a jump on it on Sunday, especially because it's open to the public.
Yeah.
You need the press to know where they need to go for all their private screenings and their meetups and stuff. But you also, if you want to own the story of the week, the best way is to have everybody talking Sunday, and then all those people that paid for those $200 tickets to plan of
$249.
I want to be in line for whatever that's announced for the Scorpio or for the One or whatever to know that they're going to be there, and maybe they'll be in those lines when they miss Sony's presentation, and they might not be able to catch up.
Think they want to set the tone for the Scorpio?
I think that's a great possibility. Actually, I know that they're writing a lot on that, but I mean,
part of it is we still don't know what it is. There's still conjecture of whether this is an upgrade like the PS4 Pro, or whether it's the next console generation starting probably 4 years too early compared to the last cycle. So
the cycle is long.
The only thing that they showcased was just basically the chips, wasn't it? Or what
6 teraflops.
Basically, it was just the big motherboard chip, wasn't it? It wasn't an exact.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, that's all really they showcased. I mean, from the last time or when they were talking about it, so it'd be a good head start. I mean, show what you're actually gonna go show. I get bored at Xbox conferences. I watch the whole thing, but I get bored.
What do you get bored about?
Just too much talking and loses my interest.
Sony was like that until the one from last year.
I get bored sometimes too with that.
Yeah, that's been the standard of a video game press conference. People come out, they talk too much, and Sony, that's what blew me away.
Yeah,
was
different.
Was just back.
I
couldn't even get a breath. There's 4 games in a row with no talking of great announcements.
Yeah.
So I think the Scorpio, they'll announce the Scorpio of the games, but Bethesda's that evening that they will put Fallout 4 in VR to match with the Scorpio. So because Bethesda's always been that evening. Again, I'm not sure what game Bethesda will announce. They came out with their...
They said they have...
Their big guns.
Didn't they say that they have like a few
Yeah, they said they have like three
IPs?
titles in development right now.
Something that they want to showcase for E3, actually. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited for... They're a great company. But...
Oh, yeah, I'm always excited. The Elder Scrolls 6, I know, will be a few years off when that will happen. So that will actually leave an open spot that Microsoft is leaving for Monday morning. They're usually 10, 9:30. Should Nintendo take their spot Monday morning? Or should they just stick with the treehouse?
Fuck the treehouse.
I was going to make a news joke, but with this haircut, I can't get away with it. So.
Burn that motherfucker alive.
Dude, treehouse, they showed Legend of Zelda for like 12 hours last year.
Yeah.
Game of the show. Legend of Zelda.
Their presentation is just terrible.
Not my opinion.
I hate
that was IGN.
But that's all opinion pieces. It doesn't matter. It doesn't translate to anything. It's like scale-bound.
So are you saying we don't matter? This is our opinion? We don't matter?
No, our opinions are our opinions, though. There's nobody that watches this.
I matter.
To certain people. But there's nobody that watches this that has to agree with any of us or any single one of us or anything. They can have their own opinions. That's what an opinion piece is about. This isn't journalism. This is three guys on couches. What do you think IGN is? It's just better production.
3 dudes and 3 cup.
No, this is not a circle trick. So I'm saying, but no, I'm over the treehouse thing. I just think I know that they're trying to be different. Well, they are different, but the conferences are just, it bugs the fuck out of me. Like I don't see anything of what they're explaining. They just go through like a story mode. And they're like, what happened with Star Fox? They're like, we took it back to Japan, and they showed this whole story segment, and that's cool. I mean, I understand the creator, but if I wanted to go search for that, I'd go look for that actual story of where he came from and what he does and this and Star Fox turned out to be a terrible game, didn't it?
It was terrible.
Well, and how many times have we had hardware failures? Somebody goes up there and they got a wireless controller and they're doing the demo in front of everybody.
Skyward Sword. That's why Nintendo stopped the press conferences, because there's too much out of control. Again, Skyward Sword, big game. They opened their press conference and it was not working. Just with the sensor, it did not show. It wasn't calibrated. So again, it was like 5 minutes of awkwardness. Again, this is their big game that they're coming out. They've always done directs. I know they did the Treehouse because all they had was Legend of Zelda last year. I do hope this year they change their mind and actually go with the press conference, but I still see...
Throwing a Mario too? Is that...
Mario Odyssey, yeah. But I still see them going with the direct because it's a very controlled environment, and it's the message they want to say, and they don't have to worry about if it works or not. Even though the Switch will be incredible, and it's going to work. And we're not video of us playing in the park.
No, I'm not playing in
the first week.
And I'm certainly not going to a park with you. There's restraining orders involved. I'm certainly not putting that on.
It's only 1,000 feet restraining orders.
What?
You earned every single one of those.
So are you the guy that's going to be sitting on top of the monkey bars with a Switch going off?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, do you not remember when we had to sell the ice cream truck he bought? Do you not remember that whole...
I like ice cream. Ice cream's delicious.
So couldn't explain your ringtone.
What's wrong with my ringtone?
It sounds like an ice cream truck. You're
works.
Constantly having everybody call you when you walk past the schoolyard.
Every time my cell phone rings, I have a lot of people run towards me.
I guess it's better than my reaction. People usually run from, so...
Strategy, it works. How am I need to find people to play the Switch with me? Just have an ice cream ringtone.
Well, I'll have the Switch, but I'm not going to the damn park with you.
We'll see about that.
No, I'll see you online, bro.
No, send me
you
online.
can edit me into the footage.
He's gonna be like,
I'll sit at home, and I'll put like a plant behind me, and be like, "Oh, Rich is hanging out by the bushes."
We need to do a cardboard cutout of you, so you can join us.
That's it. Yeah.
We'll do a cardboard cutout.
That can work at work. Too.
And we'll make the video for you.
Idea.
And we'll post it for you.
Sitting at the desk
to all see.
That's a good idea.
So we'll see again. E3's in June, so we have time to tell how they're going to do the Scorpio, what their strategy will be. Again, I'm with Rich. Hopefully, it is a new console. I don't want an upgradable, somewhat 4K. I hope they go all out. It's a new generation because the PS4 Pro is not good enough. And again, it's going to have the PS4 Pro and Sony have to come out with a PS5 sooner than they would want. So we will see about that. So that will lead to our NPD top 10 selling games of January 2017. And I'll go through the list. Number 10, FIFA 17. Number 9, Overwatch, which was a few Game of the Years for a few websites, but that's opinions, and I guess they don't matter. Watch Dogs 2 was number 8. Number 7, Madden NFL 17. Number 6, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.9 Final Chapter Prologue.
Nice.
That's a mouthful. Holy shit. NBA 2K17. Battlefield 1. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 4. Number 2, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And the top selling game of January 2017, Resident Evil 7. I'm a huge numbers guy. I love numbers. And again, I'm very excited to see Resident Evil 7 being number 1. What are a few surprises that you noticed? The top 10 selling games of January 2017 off that list. Any surprises?
I'm not surprised by Call of Duty. I'll tell you that much.
But it had bad reviews.
It was terrible. I'm so over the Call of Duty, but then again, I understand where the product sales are coming from. You know, it's coming from kids who are not into the zombies. You know, the Lord. Not to say I'm a 30-year-old guy, but you know we're.
You have old balls.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not playing Call of Duty.
We have old balls. We're old, wrinkly, saggy balls.
Pretty much. That's what. Edit that out.
Well, in the last episode, Rich said he was shaved. He's bald where it counts.
And then I did this. It's clearly
He's
on
bald
camera.
where it counts.
My butthole, yes.
That
I
was-
don't have a hairy ass. Sorry.
Where is this going?
So you're the one who went here. I'm just defending myself. I'm being attacked.
So Mo, you're talking about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
I'm so over those games, man.
But you bought Battlefield 1. What's the difference?
Big difference. So open warfare. I mean, it's.
But is that as good as Infinite Warfare?
I'm sorry. Let me bring my fucking musket to space and shoot somebody or some shit.
Yeah, space is cooler. I don't want to go to World War I. I want to go in space. Fly around in a ship. It was fucking amazing. It was
Why
cool.
don't you go to space and lose yourself?
It was fun. Mass Effect, I will.
Well, that's
Soon.
different.
I will lose myself.
It's not on the list, though.
It's not on the list.
It's on the list. Mass Effect is on my
It
list.
will be on
It
the
may
list.
be
It's
on
on
the
the
list.
list for top sellers,
It will
not the
be on the
NPD.
list.
But Mo, didn't you buy Kingdom Hearts 2.9?
No, I didn't. My girl did.
What's the
Did she
distinction?
enjoy it? Yeah.
Well,
You two are together now?
No, I mean, I watched her play the whole damn thing. I thought it was amazing. For what they showed on there was Kingdom Hearts 3 ready to what they're gonna show.
Well, yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts HD
Kingdom Hearts 3
2.9.
is not coming out anytime soon.
No, but they did showcase what it's gonna look
2019.
like because the upgraded graphics on it, they put what they're.
Did they
gonna
fix
show.
the writing yet? And I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts
I mean,
fan, but it's
not
garbage.
But it was amazing looking. It didn't expect it to look that good. It looked great for. I don't even know which.
They fixed the music, or were they still using stuff from Kingdom Hearts 2?
No, they're still using stuff from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
And he's using the characters he created for the Final Fantasy series, even though he doesn't know anything about their characterizations. He takes their looks and he puts them into Kingdom Hearts and goes, "Hey, it's a crossover."
Pretty much, but
Again,
I
a
thought
story
it was-
guy. I want to know why Titus and Walker are there, or how Cloud fits in and how
The
he's emo
story
for no
is
reason.
very complicated.
No, it's
It's
contrived.
like
There's a difference
super
between
weird.
complicated and someone who doesn't have an understanding of where they're going. And they're like a 3-year-old that's like telling a story as they go because they didn't have an end in sight. They don't have plot points. They don't have plateaus in the arc of the story or the arc of the characters. You just keep going, oh, and then he went to the store, and then he found shoes, and then he got in his car, and then he went to the park. And is this going anywhere?
Well,
No.
we'll see when
Heartless.
We'll see when
Nobody's-
Kingdom Hearts 3 arrives. I mean, we'll see what happens with it in
Again,
the story.
2019. I think that's probably conservative.
I haven't played any of them. We'll see the release schedule when it's
It's
released.
got
if I
potential.
buy it.
I do really like the first one, but he's gone nuts.
How is GTA 5 number 3? How's that possible, Rich?
They continue to add new content. The online component, as much as it's not my thing, they do keep adding new things. They do callbacks to, packs that they put out for like Valentine's Day. They put those out again. So if you missed them the last couple of years, you could get them again. Plus they added new content on top of that. They keep coming to new heists and new buildings and new mechanics for how you build your gangs and your criminal empire.
There's just so many DLCs, and the fact that nobody's paying any additional for the DLCs, for the content that they're releasing, makes it such a huge game. Because from when it first came out, it's a completely different game now. You got so many different
like Destiny.
What? We're talking about GTA here.
Fuck Destiny. Fuck Destiny.
Well, besides the point, GTA 5. You spend just what you're gonna
Keep
buy.
spinning there, Spicer. Let's hear you deflect.
I'm just saying, whatever. Fuck Destiny. We're not even talking about Destiny. We're talking about GTA
Fuck
5.
Destiny. GTA 5.
So they released a lot of
better
content
than Destiny.
where I still have a lot of fun on both, but I stopped playing Destiny just for the specific reason. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm ready for Destiny 2.
We're talking about GTA 5 though, I thought.
But anyways, now you're just being a dick. But they released a lot of the content of the gangs. They have you have biker gangs now. You have what is it? The high corporate ladder like gangs where you recruit people. And you're like this high-end like boss that owns this like high corporate ladder.
You have like smuggling. You have like warehouses.
You have like a whole bunch of stuff going
yeah.
on. It's not the same shit.
You become like your own cartel, right?
Yeah. It's insane. Like the way that they incorporated everything. The only complaint I have about GTA 5 is the loading times. It kills me on the loading times. It's massive amount of wait, especially when you get kicked out of a server and you're loading back in. Kills me.
Did you buy it on the Xbox One and PS4?
I bought it.
Did you do the upgrade?
I actually had it originally on PS3, and then I actually traded that one in to get the PS4 version.
And Rich, you got it on
on
Xbox
360
One?
and then on Xbox One.
I guess I'm the only loser who just played it on Xbox 360. So I got it launch day, and I played it. I loved it. Played like 30 hours, and then stopped and went to the next game. But good to see. It would be really funny at the end of the year if it's Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 in the top 10. They're competing with each other, with themselves.
I love that game, the Red Dead Redemption. It's just
Really good.
The storyline was captivating.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh my god!
I know. I have it.
so
I bought
good.
it on Black Friday for very cheap.
Oh yeah, the remaster. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's eligible to play on Xbox One. It's backwards compatible, so I'll play it before the second one comes out.
I enjoy the online on.
I'll be having so much fun with the Switch. Yeah. I don't know if I'll find some time, but hopefully that'll get there. But yeah, that's our feelings and thoughts of the top 10 selling games of January 2017. Another news story is Call of Duty. A CEO doing an investor call actually stated about Infinite Warfare underperformed, even though we just talked about it was the number 2 selling game of January 2017, and also it was the number 1 selling game of all of 2016. So he's in the conference call said, "It's clear for a portion of our audience the space setting just didn't resonate." So there you go, Mo, you're right. And who wants to go to space? You were one of them. Traditional combat will once again take center stage in this year's Call of Duty. That will probably come out first Tuesday, Friday of November. Was greenlit over 2 years ago and will take it back to its roots. What does that even mean? Call of Duty back to its roots. What was the last Call of Duty game you guys have played?
I think it was Ghost, and then I just gave up on the whole the series. I think that was the last.
That was like the worst one.
I didn't play Advanced or Infinite yet.
I played them. I actually played them at a friend's house. Actually, what was it? Black Ops 2, but it's not something I only played it for like an hour, and it reminded me of Black Ops 1 for a little bit, but it's just not my thing. I'm not into the whole ninja crossover thing that they were doing. And
what game were you playing?
Wasn't it where were they in Black Ops 2? Weren't they where they run on the walls and everything and do like?
No, that's Advanced.
Oh, that's Advanced. Oh,
yeah.
then that's the one I played.
Why
Sorry,
are you playing Ninja Gaiden?
Well, I got it mixed up.
No,
Don't
that's Advanced. Stole that from Titanfall.
Fuck Call
right?
of Duty. I don't like.
They did steal it from Titanfall.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always about 2 years behind. And Titanfall 2, I'm so sorry, RIP. You're an amazing game. I loved it.
I love that game too.
So okay, But they're saying that they had already greenlit this project of going back, which we assume is World War II, is what they're vaguely hinting at.
Yeah.
Everybody's reading into that with their conjecture, with their articles, their opinions. But he said 2 years ago, so they didn't know what the sales were going to be like on this one. So the fact that he's saying, obviously, this didn't resonate with our customer base, well, apparently you knew that before this was even released. Why did you put this out there if it's hurting the brand? Why not just let it be scuttled as opposed to...
And would it be considered going back to its roots? It's more like a reboot, isn't it? Because Call of Duty started as...
So it's Battlefield 1, but if it's done properly... Do you
Yeah.
consider
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
It's a reboot tech. That's why they have that title is Battlefield 1. At
Yeah.
the same time, it's one of the most innovative FPSs out there, right?
Yeah, and the storyline was epic, too. Well, it's...
In Battlefield 1?
Yeah.
How they had it set up, I was very
Yeah.
impressed. There's like 5 or
It
6
also
different
taught you the
stories, each
mechanics as
3 or
well.
4 missions,
Yeah.
each one. But again, back to its roots, it can have multiple meanings. Is it, again, going back to World War II, is it going to a realistic setting? You know, what is actually Call of Duty? I think it's actually lost. Like, what is its identity? Because the last 3 or 4 years, they've gone a little crazy. Again, the last one was in space. But again, I have no idea.
They have the same thing. It just, what's the setting is the only difference in how high-tech are the guns that you're using.
Correct.
Because
if
every
you're in
single
space.
one is, I'm chasing the bad guy. 2/3 of the way I find out that my boss is actually the real bad guy. And I either kill the first bad guy, the little
Just
bad...
talking about you, Kevin Spacey.
And then in the very end, I get the guy that was really responsible. It's the same story every time.
I thought Kevin Spacey was my friend. I
There's
thought
a
he
lot
was
of
on my
people-
side.
Apparently, you've never seen a Kevin Spacey performance.
There's a lot of people who love that storyline, though, and will swear by Ghost. And I
But it's
wasn't
every
feeling
single...
it. I wasn't feeling it. It
It's
just
every
wasn't for
single
me. But that's
Call of
me.
Duty.
Like I said, it's just me.
Ghost was bad. So I'm sorry you guys stopped on that one. I couldn't understand why you would stop. But again, it's always the top selling game
Yeah,
every year.
because all the little kids buy it.
What do you have a problem with little kids playing
Yeah,
Call of
them
Duty?
yelling in my ear, "Go fuck myself," or then bang my mom or some shit. I always talk about the same shit all the time.
Is that why you play Destiny? And they're talking shit?
No, I don't hear anybody talking shit because I own them.
Are you own them in Destiny?
Oh, damn.
It's
Gauntlet's been
different.
thrown. All right.
So it's Battlefield 1.
I'm all
is when
about
they're-
Iron Banner,
Is when
so-
they're owning you.
When I spawn and I die immediately, yeah, there's some fucking tweaking problems there, like glitches. I'm not a big fan of that shit, and it's so crazy because if you play Titanfall 2 online, all those problems are basically eliminated. It's a good multiplayer. Like I still play that. It's insane. It's so good. We'll not go back to Call of Duty, or we'll not play it ever again.
I think for some reason it's engraved. Again, I said in the last episode I played every single Call of Duty since 2005. Starting with Call of Duty 2, the launch for 360. For some reason I just have to play. It's only 6 hours for the campaign, and the multiplayer I play for about a few hours. I get
You
my
buy it day one, though, don't you?
This one I did not.
All right.
And usually I do, but the last few years, again, hasn't meant too much. Other games have been coming
Well,
out that's longer.
Justifying $60 for a 6-hour experience is not really...
And then throwing another
Makes sense.
for the DLC is like what, $100?
Yeah, we
100
don't
plus
get,
months.
we don't get the DLC on that, though.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
buy
'cause
DLC.
but
It's all
there's so many
map
people that
packs.
actually do spend.
No, but that's the multiplayer guys, which have to
That's
have
how
it
to
day
pull
one
along
just 'cause
the
you have
game,
to
yeah.
you have to perk up. So
And again, they've joined Sony, so now they get the map pack 30 days before Xbox. That's a reason to go on the Sony side. But again, they'll probably make an announcement trailer soon. They usually do it in April, the NBA playoffs, when they do the opening trailer, the end of April before a few weeks before
this one gonna
E3.
hit 1 million dislikes like the last one did.
It did? 1 million dislikes?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like it was like
yeah, for the
other than the new Ghostbusters reboot, it was like the biggest dislikes
it
ever
was-
in YouTube
everybody
history.
hated it.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually a
Learn
big
something new
fan.
every day.
Did you play Call of Duty 1? Because that was an amazing
Yeah,
story.
it was still on PC at that
yeah,
point.
I
That
played
was PC.
It wasn't even on Xbox or
Yeah.
PlayStation.
So I come from the PC age. That's where I played all my Call of
yeah,
Duties.
Tech TV was still on. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, and Call of Duty 1 had an amazing storyline. It was epic. The whole Russian campaign, like it was it was good. It was just good. It was just if they go back to something like that, I might dive, but I have to see it. I can't.
It was probably I'm still in the middle of it, but again, Battlefield 1 was amazing. Titanfall 2 was amazing, and
So
Call of
good.
Duty.
So good.
We'll see when I finish it. In a few hours, I didn't play it too much during the last week. But it's sad that Titanfall 2 again didn't sell well. Again, we talked about NPD. Both Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty made it to January, and Titanfall 2 just dropped off. It's a very sad story.
And they're still releasing DLCs for it, and for as far as what they said, what EA said was it's not about like the sales that they get at the beginning; it's the overall lifespan of the thing. I don't know where to take that, but I'll be getting DLCs. I'm not sure if they're charging for it or not.
Respawn's doing a Star Wars game, so we'll see what Respawn can do with that. Again, 2020. Hopefully, we'll see when that's released. I don't trust release dates anymore. When they announce it.
We pushed back.
Again, Legend of Zelda.
Which one?
I wanted Scalebound.
Yeah,
I wanted
Fine.
Scalebound.
You have to.
I wanted it.
No, you didn't.
Little Prayer.
Nobody did.
Yeah. But games that made their release, such as For Honor, was released on Valentine's Day. And Mo, you picked that up.
I did.
What was your take on For Honor?
I'm heavily multiplayer guy. I love it. I think it's a great battle system. It's fresh. It's something that I haven't experienced before. It gets really epic, especially doing the one-on-one fights where nobody else can interfere. It's just you and that person, and it's really based on skill. I think I like that type of stuff. I really do enjoy. Even the 4-on-4 still feels. It gets you hyped. It gets you so pumped that you're like, oh, I gotta defend all these guys and I gotta fight, be top warrior, feel like the best, the king of the mountain. It's pretty. I love it. It's a good game.
You're the king of my mountain, Mo.
Rich, would you like to interfere on that?
No, I can't sit far enough back, and I'm worried if I go farther, you guys are just gonna lay on my lap. It'll be ultra awkward for me.
It's already old.
We might do that someday. Who knows?
I'm not doing that.
No, is it like Dynasty Wars? That was my concern when they first
You
announced
guys
it.
are on my lap? I don't think so.
Take that as a compliment.
No, it doesn't feel like Dynasty Warriors to me. It's more like skill based. When you are doing the huge capture points or the huge 4 versus 4 battles, they do spawn NPCs, little guys that you just mow down. That in that respect, it is.
Is it like Titanfall? Because Titanfall, they have.
Yes.
It's not NPCs.
Yes,
but
the soldiers. Yes,
the
and
soldiers
you can just
to
kill
fill
them,
in,
but you get points for that.
Points
and stuff.
for it.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
when you actually approach another player, the whole battle system changes though. It changes completely. Like whereas you're not facing an NPC, you're fighting them, and it's just like, oh, just kill all these guys, just mow down through them. Once a player shows up, the whole battle system just completely evolves. I love it. It's amazing. It's worth giving a shot if you guys are into the whole multiplayer thing.
It's something I'm not into multiplayer. How's the story though?
It was kind of mediocre for me. I'm just like,
Is it
just
long,
to teach me the basics.
or-
No, it's not. It's not at all. But it teaches you the basics of what the mechanics are. It goes through each of the characters and each of the layout of the whole system, the battles, all that stuff. It kind of did the same thing that Battlefield 1 did. You know, where it teaches you from stage to stage to stage when you're doing the storyline, like how to fly, how to do the tanks, how to fix stuff. You take that into multiplayer. That's basically what it's showing you.
What's your take on For Honor? Is that a game that you would want to play, or
No. It's just not my... Like I said, I'm a story guy, so... I'm sure the mechanics
Not a
are
big
fun,
story.
but
Not a big
exactly,
story. So
so...
I wouldn't recommend it to Rich. I wouldn't be like, hey, you got to go pick this up.
And
unless you're gonna go and join me on multiplayer, then yeah, I tell you all that. by all
Again,
means.
I don't have the time for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not my personality.
Yeah.
No fault. It's just something I don't enjoy, so I don't do it.
I'm all about single player. Again, I want it has a 5 to 6 hour campaign, which it doesn't sound like it does.
That's pretty much what. I mean, depending on how fast you are. I mean, I don't know how fast you run into
I'm
the
fast. No,
just deadline.
No,
yeah,
okay.
deadline.
Leave it right there.
just saying. Keep on going.
No, it's not that long.
Okay.
I didn't feel.
I guess I'm not buying For Honor then. I was actually pretty excited. It looked really cool.
It's multiplayer.
Okay.
That's what I feel. I feel it's like a Siege. Rainbow Six Siege didn't even have a storyline. It was just training missions for the offline.
Yeah.
So.
And then released today, Halo Wars 2. I know, Rich, you're a big Halo fan.
I was. I played the first game. Yeah. I didn't pre-order this one, though.
Of Halo Wars?
Yeah.
What was your take on Halo Wars?
It was alright. I like some RTS titles. Age of Empires would have been the big one I played when I was growing up.
Love that.
I don't know. It didn't really seem like it had any heart. It just seemed like it was using things that you would recognize from the Halo universe, but it didn't use them in a way that I really cared about. There was a little bit of a story, but it's not mentioned outside of that game. This, you're continuing that story, and apparently it's going to be set up for the next Halo single player, your regular Master Chief title. But I don't know how much. That's what they said about the last one, too. So
Am I going to be Blue Team?
No. This is a separate thing.
Halo 5 was amazing. It was
Wasn't it?
fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait till Halo 6.
What's the bad guy's name in Halo 5?
I just shot people.
Cortana.
I just shot things.
Cortana's the answer. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler?
Cortana. Cortana's the bad guy. You not see a problem with this?
Spoiler.
The web search?
Yeah.
Would I have to yell at my TV to turn it on?
Cortana!
You know how much my
You are the ultimate bad guy.
Yeah, you know how
Please
much
search
my
for
neighbors probably hate me, or every time the pizza guy shows up. Hey Cortana, pause! Pause! Hey Cortana, pause! And then I, under my breath, you couldn't fucking hear me the first 2 times?
I see you love your Kinect, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm one of the few people that still has it plugged in instead of throwing it away like I should have when it first came bundled.
I like the
back all time.
Kinect. I enjoyed the Kinect. Dance Central.
Yeah, you want to talk more about Star Wars Connect? See? There we go. Finished.
Fuck you, Star Wars Kinect.
He just took a dump in his pants with that look. He's like, oh.
Oh my god, that brings back memories. I like the dancing though, Kinect Star Wars. The dancing was cool.
That didn't surprise me.
Do the Han Solo. Yeah, that was cool.
Ever seen him on Latin Night? Oh boy.
Ooh. Blue Martini.
That
on
guy was
Latin
really
Nights.
nice to you though when you were dancing with him.
Yes.
I
can do the salsa.
Were you doing the Han Solo then?
Yeah, I was doing the Han Solo.
I wasn't solo. That was 2 handfuls.
Hey, 2 handfuls.
Okay, it was 1 handful.
And then next week, the big game of Sony, Horizon Zero Dawn. PS4 exclusive.
Sell me. I don't really know. I've heard, but sell me.
Tell you what.
Sell me. This is your game. This is your system. Sell me.
48, like from what I was reading, it's a 40-hour campaign. Great from what everybody was writing. It's a great story. What's the name of the girl? It's misplacing me right now.
Ayla or something?
Ayla?
Somewhere around there.
Anyways, they go through what she was when she was growing up and how this whole thing happened with all these what is it, mechanical dinosaurs? Like, is that what we want to put them like?
Yes.
What happened with them and how they evolved and how it got to the point where she's at now.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's
as
a
well.
whole
You need
mystery
to
thing.
find out on the
It's
planet.
like Five Nights at Freddy's? Because that's what I'm hearing right now from how you're explaining it.
It's an open world that 26 different types of robotic dinosaurs that have their own different personality, own different way to kill them.
Yeah,
They like to go in packs.
They don't
open
all have the
worlds.
same weaknesses. So
Now, is there actually dinosaurs, like humanoid dinosaurs, or...
Robotic.
No, but I mean, when I say humanoid, are they walking on 2 legs and they're carrying flamethrowers? Or is it there's a stegosaurus and I need to stop him from encroaching on this area so I shoot him with a machine gun or something?
No, you basically, like, your character's using primitive weapons. Except for some of the hacking that you get to do.
Because they're robots.
Because they're robots. You end up learning about how they are evolved. And
you can take control of them towards the end.
you can.
You learn the power.
But
and they can be on your
you do that later.
I have a pack of robotic dinosaurs. Sign me up.
I'm
in.
She wants
I'm
to
sold. I'll probably play it in April after I'm done with Legend of Zelda and Mass Effect, and then right after Mass Effect, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm excited. But again, those are the big exclusives for Sony. Horizon Zero Dawn and the big exclusive for Xbox, Halo Wars 2.
The big exclusive.
It's still exclusive, yeah. Halo Wars, they have that name. We'll see how it does. Again,
I'm not expecting much. I'm realistic.
Xbox, you have to do something. 20 million units down. Scorpio. That's the answer.
That's all you say, Scorpio.
That's all. That's
what are the
enough
games
said.
coming
Enough
out?
said.
Like machinima jokes.
Enough said.
No, he always drops in something.
Enough
Scorpio.
Enough said.
Oh my gosh.
So based off the reviews, like For Honor, a new IP, averaged around 8, and Horizon Zero Dawn, the review embargo lifted on the 20th, 8 days before it is released. So Sony is very confident in the game that they have. Received a 9.3, a 9, and an 8.75 from several websites. So the question is, do you make your purchasing decisions based off of game reviews? Have you ever done that before?
I have for a few games. I haven't done them for all games. We were just talking about this earlier, but I did it for No Man's Sky. I waited because I had a gut feeling. I don't know what it was, but I waited until I saw the reviews. And when I saw the reviews, I was a little shocked and I was a little bummed because I wanted to get it, and then I saw what the potential that it had. It kind of just.
No one knew what the fuck the game was even about.
Yeah,
it was a mystery.
But it looked amazing from everything that they were showcasing, and then I was like, well, where's the story? What's going on? Is this just me just going into space and just capturing or like trying to discover new lands?
Fucking aliens.
That's it. Like, what am I doing? And I just wanted to wait. I wanted to see a little
Spreading
bit more.
your seed.
Is that what it
That's
was?
what I wanted to do. Just spread my seed throughout the galaxy with aliens. Make mini
I
babies.
think that's a different game.
That's what I'm doing in Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Spreading my seed.
Yeah.
What about you, Rich? Have you done any game reviews or spread your seed?
No, I've not spread my seed throughout the cosmos. I don't know why that's a question. No, it depends. I liked the first Assassin's Creed, but I thought it was kind of repetitive. So when I saw the early reviews for the second one, bought into it. By the time I got through the Ezio trilogy, I was completely bought in, so that it went all the way through Unity, and I heard about all the problems and how they had kind of screwed up the formula, and I'd been disappointed with the game before that, but I still bought it, and I bought Syndicate and Rogue, and by that point I had bought into the IP. So kind of like Andromeda, we're going to get the next Mass Effect title, even though Casey's
No matter what
not
the
involved.
reviews are.
Yeah.
You know, the doctors are out of the company. You know, we're sold on the IP. So I'll let that happen. And the next Assassin's Creed, I will probably buy it without hesitation. But when it comes to new things, like I like BioWare, but I wouldn't have tried Dragon Age if I hadn't seen early reviews. I wouldn't have gone for No Man's Sky because, again, it's not really my type of game. But yeah, there's a lot of times where reviews are gonna help guide me away from them, but number one, I don't go with just a company. I go with specific reviewers. If I really want to take their voice as gospel, I need to know that it's somebody who I think their voice goes along with what mine would be. You know, some people, like I told you, what was the game we were talking about on the last one? Fable 3. I'm totally into Fable, but you told me about some of the mechanics changes and the way the game plays out.
I don't know. I really liked Fable 3. I don't know how I talked you down out of it.
Oh, at the
know how
time
I
you
did
really
that.
didn't like it, and
I
a lot of other people didn't like it. But and I knew how much you liked the first two games. So the fact that you didn't like the third one, or at least at the time, you made it sound like you didn't like it.
Maybe the
that
pacing.
made me. I bought it. I am one of those suckers that buy stuff and sometimes didn't have time or inclination to play them.
You have about 100 game collection,
I have more than that.
and it's wrapped
no,
packages.
they're not. They're not. No, I'm not that guy.
You unwrap it?
Yeah.
Okay. For reviews, the only time I'd make a purchase of a new IP that's mysterious.
Yeah.
One example, same with you, Mo, is No Man's Sky. I was pumped for a year and a half, but then the reviews came out because I had no idea what the fuck the game was even about. Then the reviews came out, read more about what it is. I'm like, that's not for me. Exploration and me dying for 20, 30 hours on the verge of death, trying to get materials for my ship on each planet. Same thing with Sea of Thieves for Xbox exclusive. Again, no one knows what the fuck it's about. Everyone had fun for 15 minutes at E3 last year. Do you know it's rare? Have you heard of Sea of Thieves?
Just a little bit. Pirates?
Yeah, it's pirates, ships, and you battle each other. Again, everyone said it was the best 15 minutes they had at E3, but no one knows what the fuck the game's about. So that's one I will wait for the reviews. What's so funny?
No, that's just a further problem I have with people that get involved in the hype. I get it. It was a great 15 minutes. That's a tech demo. That's not a game. That's not an experience.
Well, same thing with No Man's Sky. That was all tech demos
exactly.
for 2
Those
years.
are commercials, and they worked effectively for the first 24 hours. And when people played it, they went, "This is horse shit."
That's why
they flushed it.
That's why I wait for the reviews.
That's a good point. I'm agreeing.
Yeah, for new IPs, but I'm with it. Again, Mass Effect, it doesn't matter what review. If it gets 3s, I'm buying it. So it doesn't matter what reviews it gets. Again, I'm loyal to that brand. Same with Legend of Zelda or other games. And there's other games such as The Order 1886. That got bad reviews, getting 5s and 6s. But again, new IP. But again, it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
It looked good, showcasing what the PS4 is capable of. And I got it. Anyways, again, I just wanted to see how it was. I know it's a 5-hour cutscene was what it was. But still, it was pretty to look at. And I wanted to shoot some werewolves. But have you guys played the Order 1886?
No, I wanted to. I just...
Too many games.
Yeah. Same excuse.
No, to be honest, when I heard
it was... Huge excuse, too.
When I heard it was basically an interactive movie, that's one of them where I shied away. It looked beautiful, but I heard that it was just watching a movie and you play for 25 seconds and then you watch a 14-minute movie or cutscene and I don't want to do that.
So that's our take on the video games that are releasing this month. Please let us know in the comments below what you feel about For Honor, Halo Wars 2, and Horizon Zero Dawn. This past week, Nintendo just announced Season Pass for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for $20. So what does that Season Pass include? Includes 3 extra treasure chests in the game's Great Plateau area, which is probably all that we've seen so far, with one of them including a shirt with the Switch logo that Link can wear in his adventure. I cannot wait to find that treasure chest to have my Switch logo on my Link. But it also includes the first DLC, comes out this summer. Will include Cave of Trials Challenge, access to hard mode, and a new feature for the in-game map. And then this holiday includes a new dungeon, new original story, and additional challenges. Right now you have to buy them together. $20 first time Legend of Zelda has done a season pass. Nintendo's done a season pass with Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. They did 2 different DLCs with different courses and different characters. I'm glad I didn't buy them because they're going to be the new Mario Kart for... It's not new. The revamped Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, which is the reason why I'm buying it because I did not buy those DLCs for those courses. And those are the main DLCs that Nintendo has done for their main games. So what do you feel about DLC and season passes and the benefit it has towards the video game industry? And do you even buy them, the season passes?
I do. Not all of them. I wait till the list comes out to see what they're going to be offering. If it's not something that actually going to incorporate a larger story, like for me, Dark Souls does really good on expanding a new area, new bosses, new storyline, building on what they've already got going on. That's a sell to me. I do like what they showcase. The most recent DLC that I bought was for Dark Souls 3, and that's the Ring City, and it looks amazing to me. Like I want to go on and discover this new area that they've unlocked for Dark Souls. So.
And even though I hate Destiny, I will give Destiny credit for its DLCs that they've done, and you bought every single one.
Correct? I did. Those disappointed me. I thought
that's the last one though, right?
Well, Destiny, yeah. I give you 0 credit now. Fuck you, Destiny.
I just thought that they could have included a little bit more. I guess for the content that people were paying for, if they were happy with it, I'm guess. But I thought it would be a lot more from what I was buying at the time, because they would only say you're gonna get a few more strikes and a new raid. I'm not a raid person. I like the fire teams of 3. I'm not a big fire team of 6 people. It turns into a clusterfuck for me. I do know that like MMORPGs like to incorporate those raids, and it's a giant thing. But I mean, that takes constant building. It's just different for Destiny, and I did not like the raids for me.
And what other games have you bought season passes or DLC? Do you buy the season pass or just the DLCs by itself?
No, I buy season passes. I think the last one that I got besides Dark Souls 3, I want to say was Watch Dogs 2, but because I got a good discount on it. It wasn't like the full price, and that was through GameStop, and I don't want to say anything. I get a lot of points. I buy a lot of games, so they discounted it for me.
How about you, Rich?
Depends on the title. So, like I said, I'm a story guy, not multiplayer. So, Halo, I'm not going to buy a map pack. It depends on what it is. Tomb Raider, I bought the season pass because the first game, it added some new weapons, new costumes, some new areas. Second one, they kind of had a little bit of a split where I didn't think I probably should have done a la carte as opposed to a season pass. Watch Dogs 1 was kind of similar, where there was multiplayer stuff and then there was single player stuff. The single player stuff was good enough. I felt I wasn't gypped.
Well, only 2% of the people pass. Is that what you said?
According, yeah, when I hit the achievement, because you know they have the new system on Xbox,
Yeah.
tells you how many people have that achievement, which there's millions of people, so it's not like it's that rare. But
I
when it
like
says
the Watch Dogs
2%, yeah, it was good.
The whole killer thing.
Yeah,
that was a good story, like side story. I was captivated. I wanted to finish the whole thing.
Yeah, see, and Watch Dogs 2, they knew what their bread and butter was. They're going for that. Plus, like you were saying, I'm an Amazon buyer, so I bought the Gold Edition, which was the physical copy of the game.
I'm a Walmart buyer.
On Black Friday.
You get the
On Black Friday.
you get the pre-order you get the pre-order bonus, and you still save money on what it would be like to get the season pass separate. Plus, as a Prime member, I get like a discount for new game sales. So
Prime is a wonderful thing, by the way. I'm just saying, it's just incredible.
Walmart. Very simple. Go in, go out. They have a McDonald's inside. I can get some food on the way out when I buy
you don't
my
have
video
to
game.
wear almost any clothes to go in there.
Nah. For me, I don't really buy DLC or season passes. The only DLC I bought was Shivering Isles on the Oblivion for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Because I loved Oblivion. That's the game I played the most ever out of any single game I played. And then Mass Effect 2, there was a heist level that I bought DLC. The reason why I don't buy season passes or DLC is when I'm done with a game, I'm done. Like, I'm ready to go on the next game, and I don't go back to it. There's too many games out there, and again, I beat every single game I play, so I just don't have time to go back. Even games that I loved. I know Fallout 4 and Witcher 3, those had story missions.
I actually bought the season pass for Fallout 4, and I must say that I was really impressed with what they were going through.
They look great,
and the storylines were good. They weren't just like little bullshit side stories or anything.
Was one at a carnival?
Yeah, it was a theme park.
Theme park.
And then you can become the leader of one of the raider groups. You become a leader. So I mean, that like in there just captivated me. I was like, I need to buy this. I need to play it. It's pretty good, you know. So I guess it just depends on the game, really.
So we discussed, you know, which DLCs we do purchase, but do you think it's good for the video game industry that a company can put out a game that might not even be completed and like, don't worry, we'll season pass Battlefront? I'm looking at you.
That was terribly done. I after reading all that, I waited on the review. Going back, I waited on the reviews for Battlefront, and then when I found out what was the real deal with Battlefront, I didn't end up getting it. I just had a feeling about it, and it wasn't a completed game. It wasn't fully complete to me.
Same with Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, same with Street Fighter 5. Yeah, I'm just, if you're gonna hash out additional like dollars for a DLC or something, have something already completed, and then build to the core.
Single player campaign, please.
Yeah, and I like single player campaigns. I know that I reiterate that I like to play multiplayer games, but I don't go into multiplayer until I finish the full single player experience. That's the way I work. I mean, that's what I do. So, I want to see a finished game. I don't want to just go buy DLC and then it's like, okay, well, it's just a little side gun or something. Give me something to actually appreciate the game,
Yeah, and it has to make sense. Okay, so we talked about Mass Effect. They added Jarek, that was the previous race. It was wiped out by the Reapers. If you bought the DLC Season Pass, you got him on day one. Technically, he's on the disc, but it wasn't. You still had to download a patch to activate it, and they had to show all that. But that let them go to gold, print everything that they needed to, and then in those 2 weeks, they finalized everything to get it fully integrated on day one, so you could patch it in and play with him from the first mission kind of thing, which was advantageous. I think that it gives them more time to fine-tune, which I appreciate. I get why people are pissed, because there was stuff like with Street Fighter in the past where characters are on the disc and it's 6 months later you pay for a season pass or a download, and it's just to unlock something that's already there. That's not fair. Yeah. But sometimes they're still tweaking or testing that stuff, and they did it in segments. What I actually don't like, you mentioned the Zelda thing. I don't need a shirt that has the Switch logo on there to show my... Now, there's other stuff in there that maybe justifies it.
I need it.
Are you really going to put that on your link?
I'm going to put a lot of things on my link.
Seriously, no. Jokes aside, are you really going to dress him up in his little cosplay of he's you, wearing a Switch t-shirt, trying to market to the people of Hyrule? No, you're not. It's just there so you have something extra in your inventory that maybe you can sell to one of the dealers. That's it.
And it's just me. I love Legend of Zelda. They're going to have to... I'm not buying it until I find out what is the new dungeon or the new original story, how much content this holiday. But again, knowing who I am, I'm going to play the hell out of Legend of Zelda in the next few weeks. I'm going to play 50 hours. So how about as long as it takes me to beat them? And I'll be done. So by the time it's released in holiday, I'll be playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
No, but you would agree. You're not going to pay $20 for horse armor like in Skyrim.
Oh my God. Oblivion. It was like $5.
Yeah.
To be serious, I do not give a shit about the Switch shirt. I think it's stupid. Again, it obviously works. A lot of companies, every time I go pre-order a game, do you want the season pass? You want the season pass? What's involved? We don't know. This is what you get.
We talk about GameStop sales techniques, but yeah, I get your point.
But you know what? Something else, like, why should you have access to hard mode? That should already be in the game. That is bullshit.
That is true.
I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Yeah. That should already be in the fucking game. Why are you, like, any type of hard mode, extreme hard mode, all that should be already being included in the game. You shouldn't have to final tweak that. That's something.
I want to see extreme hard mode.
It always makes it weird.
Always. That's my job. That's my job, is to make it weird.
That's the only reason we do this podcast, is so that there is a visual representation of what we go through when we hang out with him in real life. This is not for show.
Wait until the wedding.
He's dishing out $20 for hard mode.
That's how I found my fiance.
We're gonna it was the 6 teraflops.
I flopped it 6 times. You gotta flop that shit out.
He wants to find out what flops really means.
My 6 teraflops for extra hard mode. It's called beast mode. Back to the Legend of Zelda here. $20 DLC. Mo, I know you're buying Legend of Zelda. Are you interested for paying $20 for the season pass?
Not until I find out what the extra storyline content is. That's the one reason why I'm buying Zelda. It's not for a damn t-shirt, to wear in the damn game. I mean, if the DLC included a t-shirt for myself, then yeah, it's a $20 shirt. It's what you spend at the stores, but not to put on Link. I want.
Would you pay $20 for a Nintendo Switch t-shirt?
No, I want like a Zelda t-shirt.
Like, if I was trying to humiliate you, if this thing fails as badly as I kind of hope it does, I still wouldn't pay $20 to make you wear a Switch shirt.
What's this thing?
But the Switch. I would say, like, if it was a Zelda t-shirt, though, I would probably pay for a Zelda t-shirt. Tell you the truth.
Well, you do have a Zelda hat.
I do, yes. But I'm just saying, like, I would not pay for $20 for a Link to wear a digital shirt. No. I need to find out what the storyline content is.
You get hard mode, extra dungeon.
And how long is this dungeon? Like,
as long as you want to make it.
Come on.
So again, it obviously works. It's been... How long do you think it's been a standard, a season pass? When did it start to get big?
I couldn't really say. I never thought about that, actually.
Because it's now become a standard.
Yeah, it's now a standard,
but
season
pass. 2 years before the switch from the 360 and the PlayStation 3, so...
Yeah.
Coming up on 5 years.
Yeah, I guess I'm too old school, but again, it works. But it gives me the option. Like, do I want to buy it? No, but again, I want a full game when I pay for it up front.
Yeah.
And again, there's more added story, more content. Again, I guess I'm old school. It should come with the game, but I completely understand, again, on the business side, the number side, why a company, again, prolong the game as well.
If it can add something to the experience. It's Star Wars, we can watch the original prequel, but now you can add in Rogue One if you want a little bit more backstory of how they had the Death Star plans. Or you can watch the original movie and just enjoy A New Hope for what it was.
The 77 or the 97 special edition?
It'd be 77 because Greedo did not shoot first. Sorry. He's a scoundrel.
It is.
Han killed him.
So let us know in the comments below if you buy DLC and your thoughts of the season pass for the video game industry. It is that time of the Gamescast for a three-way. This is where we pick a category of the Darth Vader helmet and we list our top 3 games of the category. And we don't know what it is. We'll find out together live.
Find out.
That doesn't look so good.
He doesn't videotape this. He doesn't edit it. No, it's all live.
It's all live. So our category is our top 3 Final Fantasy games.
Oh, man. Who's going to go first? I guess it's me.
First of all, have you played any Final Fantasy games?
Yes.
Have you?
Oh, I played a lot of them.
Alright, you go first. Our top 3 Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
The one category I was hoping was never pulled.
So that's a no.
And we pull it today. But because I know Final Fantasy is very popular and I do it for you viewers. Our top 3 Final Fantasy games.
I put number 3 first. I love number 3. On the Super NES.
Now, wasn't the titles mixed up?
They were, but I'm talking about Final Fantasy 3 that was here in the States. So, not the, what was it, the Japanese version was the one that got all mixed up and they went like it was like the numerical order was just all, it was all bad. But Final Fantasy 3 here at Super Nintendo, that's the one that I put first. Final Fantasy 7, second.
Why 7? That was when it went mainstream, right, on the PlayStation?
Yeah. I played the hell out of that game over and over again. The story, yeah. The story was just amazing. The even like the music was good. It was just, it all went together.
The upgrade system on the weapons.
Did you cry at the end?
Cry at the end.
Wasn't it sad?
I cried the whole game through. I cried when it was over too.
Aww.
I really didn't.
Aww.
But I did love the storyline. It was just a great. It was greatly written. It was good. But continuing on, the third one, I don't know. I'm up in the air about that one. I don't know if it's gonna be Final Fantasy X or not. I'll just throw Final Fantasy X on there for.
Didn't they have like 10-2 and 10-3?
Yeah,
wasn't that a trilogy in
number,
itself?
Just number 10.
The first 10?
With Titus. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 10, 10-2, and then it was 12 had 2 sequels.
Yeah. I know a lot of people liked number 8, but for me it was. They got complicated. That's when they started getting complicated with the material system and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did play that one. It was okay to me. I don't know.
And Rich, what are your top 3 Final Fantasy games?
I started on Final Fantasy 1. I remember playing that on the old NES. Using Nintendo Power to get you through the first, 2 hours of the game.
Fucking cheater.
Game, by the way.
I
Fucking cheater.
Final Fantasy 1, actually.
Nintendo Power.
What? That was a new playstyle for me. I never played a Japanese RPG.
If you don't have Nintendo Power, you don't have the power.
Exactly.
I had a Game Genie.
Cheater.
Didn't you, the cheater? Yeah.
I can admit it.
Shark, too.
So the original Final Fantasy.
Replay, remember that?
the original Final Fantasy.
And I would also say 7. I liked. 8 was getting a little convoluted. At really weird end of the second act turn that didn't really make sense. I liked 10 quite a bit. I didn't like the sequel at all.
No, they got crazy with that.
Especially the costumes.
Yeah, they were like, switch it off and let me dress this girl.
And I know.
Cosplay. All right, let's do this.
I'll be honest. I know I threw a couple out there, and I know I complained about it earlier this episode. But of the Final Fantasy games of that style and from that company and using some of those characters, Kingdom Hearts 1. That was. I really think that was a very well done, not too convoluted, good character designs. I thought they knew where they were going. Later entries made me think that they didn't, and jumping around from platform to platform as far as what system you're going to release on, that was a big mistake for me too, I think. But the original, one of my favorite games of all time. So
Really?
For Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 1, yep. I'm a
Learned
huge
something
Sora
new
fan.
about you.
Yep.
I had no idea.
If I could replace my number 3, it would have to be Xenogears for me, because Xenogears was what started the whole Xeno saga, like the whole thing. If you've never played,
Is that a
Xenogears,
Final Fantasy game? Like, what are you
it was
talking
made by
about?
Squaresoft, and it was going in that direction, but it wasn't Final Fantasy. But once again, like Kingdom Hearts, they had the Final Fantasy characters, but Xenogears was like it was just as amazing. Had 2 discs, so they didn't have the fully 3 discs when you had the original Final Fantasy 7. Who remembers that, switching discs and switching memory cards so you can continue?
The struggle is real.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
2 discs. Like, what the fuck? Was Mass Effect 2 discs?
Was it the first one, or was it the second one?
I remember one of them being 2 discs.
I played the first one on PC, actually.
Oh, you so fucking special.
No,
I think it might have been the first one.
You are special.
Because it didn't have
You are special, though.
it didn't have the ability. You got to, when you were getting ready to make that last push at the Citadel, that's when you had to switch out the disc.
Yep. And I know Resident Evil
I didn't
was
know
2
that.
discs.
Oh,
That's besides the point. I know that's old school. 2 discs, memory cards. I remember having a little box of 10 memory cards all stored up. Final Fantasy, I have played 0 Final Fantasy games in my video game career. In my 27 years of playing video games, I've not played one of them. I've seen them. I've seen 12. 7 I know is a classic, supposedly. I don't know why.
Don't play the remaster when it comes out.
That's what I was going to ask. Before, what you guys both said, Resident Evil, Final Fantasy 7. What's your take on the remake?
I want to see more of it. I know that they changed the whole system. I know they're making it the new Final Fantasy just came out.
Yeah, because it's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Nomura that does all the Kingdom Hearts. He's the guy that, like I said, he does the actual artwork for the characters. He doesn't create who they are. So they tell him, like, I need you to create Barrett. He's a big burly guy with a gun arm, and then he would draw that out. But they don't tell you anything about his daughter or any of the group that he works with.
Backstory.
Or how they don't tell you any of that stuff. And I'll be honest, I saw a video. If I can, I'll give you the link. Dissecting the whole thing, where basically we think that the guy doesn't actually play Final Fantasy. He creates the characters and then just fills in the blanks when he puts them in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that did Advent Children, which looks pretty, but it makes no sense whatsoever. It's a sequel movie to Final Fantasy VII. And he's the guy that's in charge of the remake of Final Fantasy VII. That they haven't even gotten past the opening cinematic, according to him. They've been working on it for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Because the guy doesn't know how to direct. He knows how to draw. He's very artistic. He's Zack Snyder. He can make a beautiful picture, but when he's trying to tell a story, he gets lost in every bit of
How did he get lost in Batman
characterization.
v Superman? That was very clear. That was...
What happened?
It was a clear diet, like the plot.
It was almost
For
as
Batman
clear
v
as,
Superman, it was
as
very
Granny
clear.
Sweet Tea. It was almost that clear.
How did you
You're
get
absolutely
confused from that?
The
So
Halo
obvious what direction they were going. Am I an origin
Yeah,
movie? Am I a
right down
prequel?
the
Am I a
twist.
sequel? Let's do it all in 2.5-hour movie. Makes perfect sense, Warner Bros. Makes perfect sense, you fuckers.
He's still alive.
I hated that movie.
Nah.
Anyways, yeah, we'll see where they go with. I want to see more. It's not a game that I would put my whole heart in. I just it's not the classic, and I still have my Final Fantasy 7.
Wasn't that on 3 discs?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk about old school switching out?
Yeah,
It was 3 discs.
I have.
It's a lot of
all
work.
the discs. It's still there, perfect condition. I can play it now. I actually have a PS2 that I play it on. If I'm gonna play any Final Fantasy, it's gonna be on my PS2.
Wasn't 7 for the PS1?
Yeah, but I don't have a PS1 anymore.
But you can play on PS2?
Yeah, you can play the original PS1 games on the PS2.
Yeah, backwards.
Nice. I guess I've never been into turn-based battles.
Yeah.
That's something I've never been into. I know that is Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
The
It's your
system.
button masher, like we talked about
This-
with the Wii
this-
Motion Plus.
this
the
new
Wii Motion.
this new Final
You
Fantasy.
beating me off.
It's not technique.
Or me beating you off. We beat each other off when we play.
Wow.
No.
This new
I have it
Final
on
Fantasy.
tape, ladies and gentlemen.
He does.
Yeah.
Stop it.
What am I stopping?
I don't know.
What am I talking
Anyways,
about?
New Final Fantasy was
Final Fantasy, that's right.
the new Final Fantasy. It was more of a Kingdom Hearts feel to it. I have not finished it. I'll get back into it when I get to it. Finishing off all other games, but
What about Final Fantasy 15? That was just released a few months ago.
no, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, it was more of a Kingdom Hearts like battle system than anything else. You don't switch between the characters, but the weapons you do switch between. It was an interesting battle system. I don't mind it. I have to get further into the story to actually give like any type of reviews or anything like that. But so far, I'm pretty enjoying it.
So it looked like Final Fantasy was near and dear to both your hearts as gamers growing up. What does it mean to you, the entire franchise, as a gamer? We're going deep here. Going deep here, folks. Straight to the heart.
I think a lot of the context got lost after Final Fantasy VII, like the original. I
Yeah.
think they started just incorporating a lot of.
Didn't the
different ideas.
original producer, didn't he pass away? And that's when we had that group
I-
that's in charge now took over?
I think that's what happened, and they started taking it in a new direction.
That's also when they started doing the merger, where we got Dragon Quest.
Oh
Company
yeah,
came in with
yeah,
them, too. It
yeah.
was around
That's
that
right.
time.
That's right. And that's another game that Dragon Quest is not a bad game. You know, it's
No, but they are kind of
yeah, they're
they're complementary, but they are kind of opposite design styles.
yeah, and
But they're both turn-based RPGs. So
I don't know the original Final
Boring.
Fantasy. Original Final Fantasy, when I played it, I think I was like about 6 or 7. I don't remember. And then playing it, I played it later. I played it a few years ago. Actually understanding where it was going, I still think it's an amazing game. It's just it made a trademark for itself actually back then. So
was it 5 or 6 that had the Guardians? I can't remember. But they had some very memorable storylines and different system with the job classifications and everything. That was a new thing that we hadn't seen over here. And the storytelling style, which eventually they started kind of parodying themselves. That's where we get to like 8.
yeah,
Eight was trying so hard to be 7 and then a little bit more that it became twist on twist on twist, and it was like Shyamalan watching a Shyamalan movie.
It was like once you got to the middle of that
Go
game,
see Split.
it was
Excellent movie.
which one? Oh,
Split.
Split. Yeah, that was a great movie. When you get to the middle of 8, it just where the fuck to go from there? I was just
When you have to go through 6 discs, I don't even know what disc to put in. What's going in,
And
what's
that was
going
a
out, I don't
2-disc
know
game.
anymore.
Wasn't 8 a 2-disc game? I'm pretty
2
sure.
or 3, yeah.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after 7 is the one that started doing like multiple discs and so forth.
Because they're so large.
Yeah, it was huge.
For a CD based.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, and 10 was 2 discs for sure. Because I remember you used that one sequence and you have to switch it out.
Well, that's their top 3 Final Fantasy games of all time. Again, I've never played. No idea. I think it's boring. Just turn-based. But again, I have respect for what it's done for the video game industry for Final Fantasy. So let us know in your comments below what you feel are your top 3 Final Fantasy games of all time. So we're at the end of our Gamescast, where we go balls deep. This is where we let you know what we will be playing this week for video games. Starting with Mo, what will you be playing this week?
It's going to be For Honor and bouncing back into Yakuza 0, actually. Just so much storyline in that game. I can't get down to it, in side missions too. But just really greatly written. I like the way... I'm a big follower of the whole series. So that's what I'm going to be playing.
Are you going to be able to beat those in time before Horizon?
Probably not Yakuza. Depends on how many hours I put into that game. But it's not a quick game. Plus, I have to read everything because there's no... it's all in Japanese, and the subtitles are only English. So there's no English voiceovers. Are
you going to be okay having to read?
What kind of insult is that?
It sounded like it was rough. You said you had to read.
See, you jump from that to... Are you going to bring Destiny into this?
There's too much fucking reading in Destiny.
There is a lot of things we have to go online and read the actual story of the game because it's not in the game. So he has the point on this one.
Counterpoint, I went
on the Grimoires.
The Grimoires, yeah.
The Traveler came here.
And Rich, what will you be playing this week?
I'm actually I think I'm going to start Watch Dogs. I think I got 3 weeks before...
2?
Yeah, before Mass Effect comes out, so I think I'm going to try to power through Watch Dogs 2 before it comes out. Although they got DLC that's on.
Are you getting the early access for Mass Effect? 3 weeks?
What is it? Oh, excuse me, 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Sorry, 4 weeks.
Jeez, get me all excited here. 3 weeks. So Watch Dogs 2, let me know. I've only played like 2 hours, 3 hours of it, and then I think Resident Evil.
Yeah, you didn't like the layout of the city, right?
The city. I haven't played too much of it that I have too much of a...
You're not a fan of San Francisco's layout, though. Anyways, it's kind of...
I don't like San Francisco, period.
What's wrong with San Francisco?
It's nice to look at. It's hard to live in.
Well, yeah.
Extremely hard. I will... Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I didn't play too much last week. Hopefully, I will finish that this week. I was going to...
You could finish that before you went to bed.
I could have, yes, for how long this has taken.
2 hours, yeah.
2 hours. 2 hours. Wanted to finish Watch Dogs 2 before Zelda, but more like that's not going to happen. So next week we will see if there's a 5-hour game that I can pull out before. Well, if I'm going balls deep, I'm not pulling out. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, see, I put a few hours into Watch Dogs 2, and then I got caught in the side missions, so I don't even know where I'm at. Like, I know there's a shitload of string of side missions in that game, but I'm trying to avoid the whole multiplayer thing. I'm not a fan.
Can you turn it off like you can in the first one?
Not even too sure. I didn't even test it out.
It'll pop up in the first one, but they can't interfere in your game.
You know what's crazy? I was in the middle of a mission, and then somebody just jumped into my game. They're stealing information from you. You need to find them. And luckily, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in the middle of a mission. I'm just trying to finish this mission so I can move on to the next one. And then I actually found the guy who was sneaking. He was behind some air conditioning unit, and I just shot him dead. And they're like, oh, you've completed your mission. I'm like, good. Fuck that guy. Whoever he was, I'm sorry. I killed you.
Fuck that guy.
You shouldn't have jumped into my game. I was just trying to do the storyline and continue.
We'll check the settings. I think there's something in there where you locked him.
Interrupt me, you motherfucker.
No, that's what I did on the first game. I turned I turned off the settings so no one interrupts my game, or I randomly interrupt someone else's game. I'm like, I want to play my own game.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we will be going balls deep in this week. Please let us know in the comments what you will be playing. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.